It's hard enough to have fashion sense when you're just a normal person. When you're a celeb on the global stage, the stakes of fashion faux pas get so much higher. From pop stars to politicians, we'll never forget these major outfit misses.
Jill Biden's colorful flower shift was the perfect choice for a ladies who lunch date. However, the $2,700 Dolce & Gabbana dress was arguably an inappropriate outfit choice to witness her husband sign in H.R. 49 in June 2021, designating the National Pulse Memorial in Orlando for all the victims of the 2016 mass shooting. Jill and Joe Biden were joined by members of his administration, survivors of the shooting, and victims' family members in Washington, D.C. 49 people were killed and 53 wounded in what was one of the USA's most deadly mass shootings. Unsurprisingly, it was a somber affair, making Jill's bright and breezy floral number somewhat jarring, especially when compared to the other guests' mute, more formal attire. Jill Biden was more a real housewife than First Lady when she rocked a skin-tight sequined latex look in September 2022. Given that Jill was attending an Elton John gig at the White House, many would think she was dressed fittingly. However, others begged to differ, filing Jill's slinky style under eye for inappropriate outfit. Jill told the crowd when she donated her inaugural gowns to the First Lady's collection at the Smithsonian in January 2023.
When I became First Lady, I knew that people would start to care a lot more about what I wore.
She continued to say, and there have been times when I welcome that spotlight because I knew that my clothes could help me say something important. Still, it's likely Jill didn't welcome the comments that her Elton John ensemble sparked. One naysayer on X, formerly Twitter, wrote, "Gosh, she looks terrible. Not only the wrong dress, but, well, age also." Another commenter added, "Jill looks awful. She desperately needs a stylist." Jill Biden raised eyebrows on the other side of the pond in September 2022 when she made a fascinator faux pas while attending Queen Elizabeth II's funeral at Westminster Abbey. The First Lady seemingly muddled up her state affair style etiquette by donning the jaunty headpiece, which is rarely, if ever, worn to memorials. Instead, it's the item of choice for weddings and special events, while hats are the appropriate attire for somber affairs. The fashion police were out in force patrolling social media and delivering their verdict. One wrote, "Why does Jill Biden always look like such a hot mess? Nothing says I'm mourning for Queen Elizabeth like a big black bow in your hair." Another responded, "She looked ridiculous wearing a black bow in her hair. As an American woman, I was embarrassed and shocked, and I am an average savvy dressed person of her age. She should have worn a dignified black hat." Jill Biden unleashed her inner Cruella de Vil in February 2022 when she donned a Dalmatian-spotted dress and matching jacket. The First Lady slipped into the Brandon Maxwell two-piece for a Black History Month closing event at the White House. The stylish suit undoubtedly made her stand out from the crowd, but given other attendees' block-colored clothing, some found the patterned outfit a tad inappropriate. Social media's fashionistas were quick to pounce. One wrote, "Love the mask, adore Dr. Jill, but the suit looks like it's made from Dalmatians." Another wrote, "Love Jill, but that getup is a bit much. Too many black spots." Another commenter added, "Can someone who loves her tell her to fire her stylist? Every dress is a disaster." Showing her commitment to environmental issues, Jill's look was recycled. She wore the same dress to the 2021 Olympics opening ceremony in Japan and to meet Boris Johnson in June 2021. The day after meeting with the British Prime Minister, Jill slipped into another recycled Brandon Maxwell ensemble. That time, it was a bespoke red dress that she had worn to a Memorial Day service in Virginia. The fashion Bible, Vogue, praised Jill's dedication to repurposing her style choices. In a May 2024 article, they wrote, "Rewearing outfits is another shrewd, politically loaded choice, positioning her as a woman of the people who actually wears her clothes, and an environmentally conscious one at that." Jill Biden unwittingly displayed it all in April 2024. The FLOTUS wore a stunning $15,990 crystal-embroidered Oscar de la Renta gown to host a dinner for Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and his wife Yuko. Still, her underwear, not outerwear, ensured she hit the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Unfortunately, Jill learned that certain materials don't stand up to the bright lights caused by a sea of cameras. The dress turned sheer as the photographer snapped, resulting in the First Lady flashing the flesh. Jill has made it clear that she's not here for frivolous things, such as fashion, but that didn't stop critics from coming out in storm about her outfit. Jill Biden trended in February 2021 after she was snapped while out and about shopping with her hair in a scrunchie. Jill was picking up some sugary goodness from the Black-owned bakery, the Sweet Lobby. Not surprisingly, the internet was firmly divided. One commenter wrote, "So part of what I never realized I needed was a FLOTUS and a scrunchie." Another raved, "She's a real person, not a made-up Barbie doll." Others believed it made for an inappropriate outfit. One would-be fashionista wrote, "Sickening, you've gotta be kidding." The 80s and 90s staple has made a comeback recently, but that had nothing to do with her choice to rock one. In fact, Jill had no idea what a scrunchie actually was. She told Kelly Clarkson,
"My daughter called me right after I left that shop and said, Mom, everybody's talking about the scrunchie." I said, "What scrunchie?" I didn't know what she was talking about.
After Donald Trump was confirmed as the Republican nominee for president in 2016, Ivanka Trump seized her Republican National Convention appearance as an opportunity to publicize her own business interests while touching on American labor laws and women in the workforce. Capitalizing on her own work, Ivanka wore the baby pink Ivanka Trump sleeveless studded sheath dress from her fashion line. The following day, a tweet was posted on her verified Twitter account that read, "Shop Ivanka's look from her RNC speech." This was followed by a link to the dress on the Macy's website. It was an affiliate link which indicated Ivanka could have earned additional commission from any purchases made. The $138 dress promptly sold out at both Macy's and Nordstrom. Some saw the outfit choice and the subsequent tweet as shameless self-promotion, and despite Ivanka's mention of American labor, the Macy's site listed her dress as imported. In November 2016, 4 months after the RNC controversy, Ivanka Trump wore a $10,800 Metropolis diamond bangle from her jewelry line in an appearance on 60 Minutes alongside her family. When host Leslie Stahl asked whether Donald Trump's polarizing campaign had negatively impacted the Trump brand, Ivanka responded, "I don't think it matters. This is so much more important and more serious. That's the focus." Ivanka's decision to wear the bracelet was not particularly controversial in itself, but the marketing tactics that followed were. After the interview aired, Monica Martyr, former vice president of sales for Ivanka Trump Fine Jewelry, sent out a style alert press release to journalists that stated Ivanka's favorite bangle was available to buy, asking recipients to, quote, "Please share this with your clients." New York Times reporter Eric Lipton tweeted in response, "White House as QVC. It has started." The next day, Abigail Clem, the former president of the Ivanka Trump brand, told NBC News that the style alert email, quote, "was sent by a well-intentioned marketing employee who, like many of us, is still making adjustments post-election." In January 2017, Ivanka Trump posted a photo on Twitter of herself wearing an iridescent silver gown 2 days after Donald Trump had announced his Muslim ban executive order. Ivanka's dress, which was designed by Carolina Herrera and cost $5,000, drew criticism because it highlighted Ivanka's lavish lifestyle at a time when racism and human rights were central to the cultural conversation. When the Trump administration came under fire for the separation of children from their parents at the Mexican border in 2018, photos circulated of immigrant kids using sheets of silver foil as blankets. The photo of Ivanka's silver dress resurfaced, again as a reflection of the real disparity between those in power and those affected by their policies. Multiple Twitter users, including comedian and writer Orly Matlow, posted split-screen photos of Ivanka's dress and the detained immigrant children. Matlow wrote, "Who wore it better, children detained in McAllen, Texas, or Ivanka Trump?"
Well, immigration is not part of my portfolio, obviously.
In February 2017, Donald Trump gave his first address to Congress. The speech pushed the slogan "Buy American, Hire American" and focused on encouraging Americans to buy American products. Ivanka Trump did not appear to have known the contents of the speech in advance because she wore a fuchsia cocktail dress by French designer Roland Mouret to the event. A representative for the designer told The Independent that the dress cost $1,868 and was made in the United Kingdom. What would Donald think?
So you do disagree with him from time to time?
Oh, frequently. And he knows it.
Many onlookers pointed out the irony and hypocrisy of Ivanka's dress, given her father's message. Members of the public also questioned why the first daughter was not treated the same as former First Lady Michelle Obama, noting the off-the-shoulder cut of Ivanka's dress. One Twitter user wrote, "Remember all that crap about Michelle Obama showing her arms, and if it was appropriate? Well, behold Ivanka and her shoulders." Black tie events indicate a formal dress code, but the lesser-known white tie dress code is even fancier and is associated with the so-called full evening dress seen at state and royal occasions. During the Trump family's state visit to the United Kingdom in June 2019, they attended a banquet at Buckingham Palace with the Queen that was certainly a white tie affair. Ivanka Trump wore an embellished collared cornflower blue dress by Carolina Herrera, which provoked commentary on Twitter for being too casual for white tie. One of the platform platform's users wrote, "Ivanka looks like she's wearing a denim dress that she personally bedazzled." In 2018, Ivanka Trump reportedly wore this cozy floral print jacket tied with a sash to work in Washington, D.C. According to the Daily Mail, the coat was designed by Rebecca Taylor and cost $895. Heather Tooley commented at the time in an article for Inquisitor, writing, "It'll be interesting to see if Ivanka Trump will make pajama-like styles a trend after wearing the bathrobe coat. Trend or not, it wasn't the last time Ivanka wore what looked like a house coat outside of the house. In October 2019, she posted a photo to Instagram of her visit to a childcare facility on the campus of a community college in Kansas City, Missouri. The photo showed Ivanka wearing a white wrap dress with a large sash, a dress she also wore at the White House in January 2020. Some found this to be an odd choice for visiting children. One Twitter user wrote, "Is she having a sleepover with these kids? Can't think of another reason she would be in her bathrobe." Another wrote, "Ivanka, are you wearing a terry cloth bathrobe? Does it have a Trump logo on the front?" If there's one pattern that summed up the trends of 2020, it would be the red, spiky, angry spheres of coronavirus. As the virus began to spread stateside at the beginning of 2020, Ivanka Trump took a pre-lockdown trip to India and posed with a smile in front of the Taj Mahal. She captioned the snap on Instagram and Twitter on February 24th, writing, "The grandeur and beauty of the Taj Mahal is awe-inspiring." She wore a Proenza schooler dress splattered with striking crimson flowers, which, to the horror and delight of some Twitter users, resembled the COVID-19 virus. Others, meanwhile, simply gave Ivanka props for re-wearing the dress, which she had previously worn during a September 2019 visit to Argentina.
Taylor Swift underwent a serious transformation over the years, from an innocent, starry-eyed country crooner to a pop megastar, and her look inevitably changed along the way. Long ago were the days when we could rely on her to show up to an awards ceremony in a sparkly dress and cowboy boots. As she joked to Glamour in 2014, "I play the tape of my life forward and don't wear the things that my kids or grandkids will make fun of me for wearing. Like, wow, cool mom, cool cowboy boots that you were wearing constantly in 2006. While we love how far Swift has come and how each album essentially comes with its own era, there were bound to be a few fashion missteps along the way, and there has simply been no hiding from the ridicule and backlash that has swiftly ensued in some cases. It's nothing the headstrong pop queen can't handle, but join us as we examine Swift's most inappropriate outfits she's been caught wearing. Have you ever woken up late and scrambled to get dressed, only to realize much later that maybe your shirt was inside out, your pants were unzipped, or your shirt was on backwards? Well, if so, then you're in pretty good company. We hate to say it, but Taylor Swift was guilty of committing that sort of fashion faux pas in 2014. As the story goes, per BuzzFeed, Swift was spotted at a Knicks game with Justin Long, sporting what appeared to be a red mock neck sweater. There's only one problem. She had it backwards. A Tumblr account opted to subtly let the masses know that the star might have made a teeny tiny mistake, posting, "Taylor wears a 525 America sweater while leaving her apartment last night, en route to a Knicks game. Her Bordeaux sweater here is actually a reversible piece, with Taylor opting to wear the neck cut outside for the front, and the high neck turtleneck to the back." In other words, the neck cutout was supposed to be the other way around. Immediately, Swift caught wind of her error and took to Tumblr in a since-deleted post to confess to her transgression. She wrote, "I think what they're trying to say politely is, I wore the shirt wrong, didn't I?"
That's something that I think also comes with growing up.
And that's not the only time Taylor Swift's style has raised some serious eyebrows. If you remember the 2016 Grammy Awards, you'll know that the general consensus was that Swift committed a fashion no-no on the red carpet, whilst pairing a coral pink tube top with a long satin fuchsia skirt. To round out the look, the skirt included a daring slit all the way up to her inner thigh. Perhaps this was a case of color blocking gone completely wrong? Billboard likened the two-piece fashion miss to the infamous 10 Things I Hate About You prom dress, while one Twitter user compared her outfit to that of a Flutterby flying fairy toy. Alas, it appears her hairstyle, a very blunt bob, only made matters worse. As a result, Swift was immediately compared to Vogue editor Anna Wintour. Sadly, not every fashion look is going to be a hit. Perhaps one of Taylor Swift's most controversial fashion choices is one she wasn't necessarily caught wearing, but one that she helped design. With the surprise release of her album Folklore, the queen of marketing and merch also launched a line of goods including sweaters and hoodies, with the words "The Folklore Album" emblazoned on them. As reported by Glamour, a black entrepreneur named Amira Razul came forward on Instagram, revealing that the logo Swift's team used bore an uncanny similarity to that of her own brand, The Folklore. Razul posted on her Instagram account on July 24, 2020, "This morning it came to my attention that musician Taylor Swift is selling merchandise to go along with her new album Folklore. She is currently selling merchandise with the words "The Folklore" printed on them. Based on the similarities of the design, I believe the designer of the merch ripped off my company's logo. Fortunately, Swift and her team acted quickly, and the issue was rectified. Swift wrote on Twitter, "Amira, I admire the work you're doing, and I'm happy to make a contribution to your company and to support the Black in Fashion Council with a donation."
Giada De Laurentiis has often been criticized for what she wears on TV. The Food Network star has been accused of showing off too much cleavage or her midriff, which some fans think doesn't suit the host of a cooking show. As the star once told Redbook, "I didn't want to be known as the sexy cook. I wanted people to think I really had some cooking chops."
What was the dish? And how were we making it?
She revealed that judgment based on her looks has been a limiting factor in her career. As she explained to Parade, "When you don't fit the image people have of a chef, it's difficult to break that wall down." There was even a Care To petition calling for De Laurentiis to cover up on the Food Network. Broadly alluding to her entire wardrobe, it read, "She is a disturbance and promotes sexuality to innocent viewers."
Whoa!
Having been self-conscious of her body as a child, she now claims she embraces her looks for the sake of her daughter. As De Laurentiis recalled to Redbook, "I developed breasts when I was 9 years old. I would literally sit in class hunched over because I was so embarrassed about my body. I felt like I had to show Jade that her mom is proud of who she is." Wearing expensive designers on the daily is a given for celebrities. But for years, De Laurentiis has repeatedly suggested cheap ways to dress up your style. She once told SFGate, "I believe in accessories. They are affordable and can really enhance an outfit. I have a lot of inexpensive bracelets and earrings." But was she really practicing what she preached? While wearing a Helmut Lang dress in 2013, she promoted another designer's budget line for Target, telling Today, "It didn't break the bank." While it certainly makes her seem more relatable to fans when she offers budget-friendly fashion tips, she seemingly contradicts herself when she flaunts her splurges. And considering that she's estimated to be worth roughly $30 million, she certainly has the funds to do some damage.
Barney's or J. Crew?
Barney's. Only because I don't fit in J. Crew.
The host has worn Missoni multiple times, most notably to the 2012 Daytime Emmys. She also admitted to SFGate, "I am madly in love with my Hermes belt with the classic H. It dresses everything up. It's reversible, tan on one side and black on the other. No big, just a $600 basic." Even on her website, the chef has advised readers on how to shop on a luxury Italian vacation, get leather goods in Florence and designer labels in Milan. That's assuming you have thousands upon thousands of dollars burning a hole in your pocket after booking a flight. These days, though, it seems that De Laurentiis is making an effort to style herself in a more budget-accessible way. For the 2021 Daytime Emmys, she rocked a black midi dress by Age that clocked in at just under $500.
Let's go see what the ladies think.
De Laurentiis rang in her 50th in August 2020, and she took to Instagram to celebrate. But while some fans thought she looked amazing, others were tardy to the party. Whether it was her age or the amount of skin she was showing, it made one user brazenly comment, "Loose morals and full of herself." Others used the post as a chance to criticize her body, with one troll writing, "Too much information, knock knees and rolls."
A moment that definitely scarred me.
Unfortunately, De Laurentiis is used to getting judged for her figure. The chef is so often asked how she stays thin around all that decadent food, her answer is even printed on the chandeliers inside her Vegas restaurant.
I eat a little bit of everything and not a lot of anything.
But according to Page 6, the TV personality apparently doesn't even eat a little bit of any of the recipes she cooks on her show. A source for the outlet claimed, "They have a dump bucket that is brought out the second they cut." Still, De Laurentiis has continued to claim that a healthy lifestyle is the reason for her fit figure, saying, "I do yoga with an instructor for an hour 3 times a week, and I go hiking." De Laurentiis caused some controversy in 2020 for wearing a t-shirt that read, "I am a voter." She posted a snap of herself along with her daughter Jade, who was wearing a similar design. The duo may have been trying to promote civic duty, and De Laurentiis never even mentioned who she was voting for. But even so, some followers thought they surely had her number, with one calling her out for being a so-called liberal disgrace. But another flipped parties and thanked her for voting for Trump, and still another Another user thought she wasn't being political enough by not openly picking a side. It may have been a simple post in theory, but it certainly got the comment section to explode.
Who should everyone be following?
Donald Trump. So we know what's going on.
On the other hand, De Laurentiis may have been expecting some pushback, since this wasn't the first time her fans got worked up over a vaguely political post. When she shared a pic of herself wearing an I voted sticker on Facebook and Twitter in 2018, hundreds used the comment sections to hash out their own opinions. Despite what the haters may have to say, when it comes to her personal style, we have no doubt this multi-talented star will keep on serving up whatever she wants.
Congresswoman Lauren Boebert has never been shy about stating her opinion on a whole set of hotbed issues. And when it comes to her fashion choices, the Colorado firebrand is just as eager to make a statement. Lauren Boebert's favorite accessory is a gun holster strapped to her thigh. When she poses for photos, she also strategically angles her body to make sure it's obvious that she's packing heat. As the owner of the now-closed Shooter's Grill in the aptly named town of Rifle, Colorado, Boebert required servers to wear guns slung from their hips.
Firearms have nothing to do with the amazing hamburgers we cook.
The gimmick gained the businesswoman national notoriety, so she adopted it when she hit the campaign trail. However, during a 2020 Flag Day celebration, Boebert apparently decided that simply wearing her deadly weapon was not enough to convey just how precious it is to her. On a t-shirt, she listed her priorities, making it easy for voters to understand where she stands on all the issues. It read, "God, guns, Trump." In a series of photos that Boebert posted on Facebook in 2023, she's pictured meeting with workers on a construction site. Everyone is dressed casually in jeans and sturdy work boots except the Congresswoman, who is wearing a blue sheath dress and strappy high heels featuring a colorful snakeskin print. In one photo, Boebert has her hand on her side and is leaning forward, as if it's painful for her to walk on the rocky gravel in her impractical footwear. Some critics called Boebert out for choosing the wrong time to get glammed up for a photo op. One Facebook user wrote, "This isn't a Vogue fashion shoot, Lauren. Boebert has bad luck with sheath dresses." In her memoir, My American Life, she recalls how excited she was when she got the opportunity to meet Donald Trump for the first time in person at Mount Rushmore. Unfortunately, she noticed that part of the hem of her dress had unraveled shortly before that magic moment. She wrote in the memoir, "That's when what I like to call my rifle redneck instinct kicked in." As she stapled that sucker back together, Boebert's ex-husband Jason took photos to document it. It's just too bad that her instinct didn't tell her to dress differently for her dusty meeting with some blue-collar workers. Remember when Trump started selling gold sneakers to make a quick buck? Well, it seems that Boebert wasn't special enough to get gifted a pair of the Never Surrender high tops, nor was she able to snag some before they sold out online. After winning her primary race, Boebert gave a victory speech while wearing a little black dress and what appeared to be a pair of Trump-branded shoes. But Boebert put her relationship with Trump at risk with her footwear. She admitted to Westward, "These are very China, but I'm okay with that. If I could have bought the OGs, I would have." Boebert reportedly laughed when she confessed to giving money that should have gone into Trump's pocket to a Chinese competitor. Ex-users also found some humor in her ill-considered purchase. One ex-user wrote on the site, "The sneakerheads were quick to spot the fakes when they noticed the high quality of the shoes Ms. Boebert was wearing." Meanwhile, Trump probably was not laughing. According to NBC News, the maker of the official sneakers, 45 Footwear LLC, launched a legal crusade to shut down any counterfeiters selling fakes. Maybe Boebert did her boss a solid by passing along the name of the company that produced hers. For most Americans, the number 1776 represents the year the U.S. declared independence from Great Britain. However, as the Washington Post noted, it took on a different meaning during the January 2021 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Some members of the far right who participated in the siege wore the date on their clothing, believing they were part of a new revolution. Boebert seemed to endorse this belief that day when she tweeted, "Today is 1776. So, when Boebert wore a shirt with the number on it in 2022, she raised a lot of eyebrows. In fact, some of the Colorado Congresswoman's critics believe she was giving her supporters a not-so-subtle clue that she was on the side of the insurrectionists. Boebert wore the potentially problematic garment while participating in a demolition derby. In an Instagram video that features footage of her ramming a battered pink car into other vehicles, Boebert says, "Getting there ain't always pretty, but freedom always wins." The pink car also has 1776 painted on its side. When the competition ends, she climbs on the roof of her junker to celebrate. However, However, some viewers were not impressed with her work. One person wrote in the comments section, "Yes, we know you love destroying things." Another commenter was equally dissatisfied with Boebert's video. This person wrote, "You can't be Team 1776 if you're against the thing this country was founded on."
Gwen Stefani has been consistently criticized for cultural appropriation in her clothing. She first came under fire for the ever-present bindi she wore throughout the 1990s, including to the 1998 MTV Video Music Awards. A Hindu religious symbol worn by South Asian women, the bindi has been a common fashion accessory on the foreheads of many other non-Hindu Hollywood A-listers, including Natalie Portman and Selena Gomez. But Stefani wore it everywhere, sporting the color dot at red carpet events and in No Doubt's music videos like 1995's Don't Speak and Just a Girl. Stefani told Vogue that No Doubt bassist and then boyfriend Tony Kanal was the reason for her fashion choice. She said, "I was just so unbelievably fascinated by Indian culture in particular because Tony Kanal is Indian." She stated that Kanal's mother gifted her the first bindis she wore. Stefani told Vogue,
"And his mom would come down the stairs ready to go to these Indian parties, all dolled up with a bindi."
Vice commented in 2018 that Stefani commercialized the sacred decoration in the 90s. But by No Doubt's video for Ex-Girlfriend from their 2000 album Return of Saturn, Stefani had ditched the bindi completely. While promoting 2004's solo album, Love Angel Music Baby, it was apparent Gwen Stefani was in love with Tokyo's fashionable Harajuku district. Appearing everywhere for performances alongside Stefani was an entourage of female Japanese backup dancers who coordinated their eclectic outfits with Stefani's. Explaining her fascination to WWD, Stefani claimed the Harajuku district's edgy street fashion reminded her of her thrift shopping adolescent self. Stefani said, "Having that connection as a little girl and my personal obsession with fashion, I got to the Harajuku district and I was like, what was happening? I should be Japanese?" But the Harajuku girls were the focus of the controversy. In 2005, Salon pointed out the problems with the singer's use of her dancers, asserting, "Stefani barfed up another image of submissive, giggling Asian women." Comedian Margaret Cho responded in a 2005 blog post, writing that while the Harajuku girls were at least a measure of visibility for Asian women, their Japanese schoolgirl look was, quote, like blackface. Stefani never apologized for including the dancers in her shows. Stefani told Time in 2014, "There's always going to be two sides to everything. For me, everything that I did with the Harajuku girls was just a pure compliment." Gwen Stefani's 2004 Love Angel Music Baby album was the cultural appropriation gift that kept on giving. For the album's hit single Luxurious, Stefani used Southern California's Chola look in a music video centered around the Mexican-American community. Femstella observed in 2019, choosing to appropriate the Mexican-American aesthetic, Stefani adopts thinly drawn-on eyebrows, thickly lined lips, and Old English-style nameplate necklaces. Femstella also criticized Stefani for dressing up to seemingly look like famous Mexican painter Frida Kahlo. Stefani told MTV News that her character in the video was modeled after a Latina classmate in her Anaheim high school. Stefani said, "She's this total Chola girl, white face, and she used to sit in class and put on tons of makeup, and I used to just watch her, mesmerized." The comments on the YouTube version of the music video vary wildly in regards to whether she appropriated Chola culture. But one user said, "She celebrates other cultures without losing herself. Appreciate, don't assimilate. That's Gwen."
I guess being an individual, I think that's kind of what fashion's all about.
Gwen Stefani and the other members of No Doubt reunited in 2012 to release the album Push and Shove. The album's first single, Settle Down, reached the number 34 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, but their second single, Looking Hot, wasn't so lucky, with its music video being almost immediately taken down from YouTube due to a serious backlash. In the video, Stefani and bassist Tony Kanal portrayed native people escaping from cowboy characters, portrayed by drummer Adrian Young and guitarist Tom Dumont. The band apologized, according to Rolling Stone, with the official apology reading, "As a multiracial band, our foundation is built upon both diversity and consideration for other cultures. Our intention with our new video was never to offend, hurt, or trivialize Native American people." The group added that they had consulted with Native American friends and Native American studies experts at the University of California before shooting the video. Stefani once again was accused of appropriating Native culture 4 years later in 2016, when she donned tribal ankle braids to perform her single, Misery, on The Voice. One Instagram user commented on the post, "You're like the OG culture vulture." The No Doubt frontwoman defended the cultural influence in her fashion choices, telling FemStella that, "You take pride in your culture and have traditions, and then you share them for new things to be created." Over the years, several of Gwen Stefani's outfits have been deemed too risque for her age by some. In 2019, she wore a long-sleeved, candy-colored bodysuit, complete with fishnet stockings and knee-high boots, on the semifinals of The Voice. Stefani was met with harsh Twitter backlash after she tweeted a picture of the outfit. One fan commented, "Not appropriate for semifinals. Let's dress like a 50-year-old woman." Another stated gently, "Gwen can look good in almost anything, but this garish outfit is something JoJo Siwa would wear." But the veteran singer's youthful dress code and her apparent inability to age also yielded compliments from fans. For her NBC New Year's Eve 2020 performance, Stefani paired shorts with a sparkly sweater, and many Twitter users noticed her seemingly ageless glow and flawless skin. In a 2014 Glamour interview, Stefani stated that fashion is not really about age as much as it is reflecting your personality. It's clear Gwen loves to take risks with her fashion, but some are clearly better advised than others.
I think that my style is going to always evolve, and style definitely reflects, your personality, your mood, and where you're at in your life.
In December 2023, Kimberly Guilfoyle visited the Admiral Cove Street Fair Carnival with her boyfriend, Donald Trump Jr. However, the former Fox News anchor wore a sequined Balmain mini dress to the casual event, so she looked somewhat out of place. She later shared her outfit details on Instagram, revealing that her platform sandals with towering heels were Louboutins. That said, she looked more club-ready than eager to ride the Ferris wheel with her sweetie. Guilfoyle also shared the photos on Facebook, where some amateur fashion critics voiced their opinions of her impractical apparel. One person wrote, "Her hair gets longer and her skirts get shorter." It should be noted that short skirts were essential in Guilfoyle's Fox News wardrobe repertoire. According to the Washington Post, it was no accident that she was always sitting where viewers could get a clear view of her legs on the 5. According to the outlet, two sources recalled former Fox News CEO Roger Ailes looking at an image of Guilfoyle's legs and saying, "There's Kimberly doing her job." When attending events where cameras are sure to be flashing away, it's usually a good idea to avoid thin fabrics that are stretched over the body. Actor Kristen Bell told People that she even has her stylist take snapshots of her outfits before she hits the red carpet to ensure that they don't become see-through when photographed. Guilfoyle could have benefited from this advice when she attended Zang Toy's Fall 2019 show during New York Fashion Week. For the event, she wore a tight black dress with fabric butterflies on the sleeves. The insects would have been the focal point of the garment if it wasn't so sheer. Guilfoyle experienced a similar problem when she attended the New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children Food and Wine Gala in 2016. She was wearing a blue jersey dress that revealed a bit too much when photographed, making it entirely inappropriate for the event in question. Entertainment icon Bette Midler has also poked fun at Guilfoyle for favoring tight dresses. She tweeted in 2020, "Kimberly Guilfoyle was the highlight of the RNC. I loved her red dress. I wonder if it comes in her size."
The best is yet to come!
Guilfoyle stood out in family photos from Tiffany Trump and Michael Boulos's November 2022 wedding. Guilfoyle's fundraising kept her future father-in-law's re-election campaign in the black, making her a big asset for the Trump family. However, her black dress with dramatic puff sleeves and a high-low skirt was not a big hit on X. One person wrote, "Give poor Kim a break. She was running late and didn't have time to change out of her usual vampire gear." Fashion consultant Amanda Sanders also had a lot to say about Guilfoyle's dress, telling the New York Post, "It looks witchy, like a costume."
It breaks my heart.
InStyle consulted 3 experts about whether it's appropriate to wear black to a wedding, and their consensus was that it's usually acceptable. However, some cultures might find the color offensive because it represents mourning. There are also some unwritten rules. Stylist Gillian McCaddy told the outlet, "If you're attending a beach wedding, then I recommend going for brighter colors." In honor of women's suffrage, Democratic lawmakers wore white for Donald Trump's 2019 State of the Union address. Curiously, so did Kimberly Guilfoyle and Tiffany Trump. Guilfoyle's body-hugging dress, which featured knotted detailing on the neckline and at the waist, was designed by Tom Ford. Guilfoyle didn't leave people wondering for long whether she had discovered some common ground with Democrats. She took to X to reveal that her dress choice was more about trolling her enemies than celebrating women gaining the hard-won right to vote. She wrote, "Memo to Democrats, you don't own the votes of all women, and you don't own wearing the color white." She then reaffirmed her allegiance to Donald Trump.
People call me Mini Trump.
But maybe using a Tom Ford design to stake her claim on the color wasn't the best decision. In a 2017 appearance on The View, Ford said he was a Hillary Clinton supporter. In 2023, Donald Trump Jr. posted a photo carousel on Instagram chronicling a fishing trip with Guilfoyle, her son Ronan, and Trump's son Spencer. The guys were clad in shorts and long-sleeve shirts, but Guilfoyle had on a black maxi dress with a plunging neckline. One of Trump's followers wrote, "Why is she in a funeral dress? LOL." This isn't the only time Guilfoyle was criticized for choosing questionable clothing for an outdoor trip. She joined Trump for Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry's 12th annual gator hunt. After either Trump or Guilfoyle shot and killed a small alligator, they posed with their bloody trophy. In a photo that Trump posted on Instagram, Guilfoyle had a gun in her hand and high-heeled boots with blood-red Christian Louboutin soles on her feet. However, ruining a pair of boots with a little mud and blood probably wouldn't faze Guilfoyle. After all, when speaking about her shoe collection, she once told Us Weekly, "There have been estimates of about 500 pairs. Is that more than Imelda Marcos? I think it is." In a 2023 interview with Impact Wealth, Guilfoyle touted the prosecution work she did in San Francisco, saying, "I was stalwart in my commitment to carry out justice for those with no voice. One of my greatest moments was when I fought and helped make animal abuse a felony." The publication also mentioned that Guilfoyle was working on a children's book about an animal rescue. She also said that she fundraises for the Furry Friends charity in Jupiter, Florida. However, in 2019, the Daily Mail published photos of Guilfoyle wearing a $1,300 Nicole Benesty coat. The garment was lined with genuine fox and rabbit fur, and she was wearing the hood pulled up to show off its thick fur trim. One person reacted to her coat on X, writing, "What the f did the bunny and fox do so wrong to be killed and made into an ornament, aka accessory to a coat?"